The Microgrid Resources Coalition was formed to advocate for basically a level playing field for microgrids in the energy regulatory space. There are lots of ways in which behind-the-meter generation is not treated the same as generation that's directly on the grid, and often to the disadvantage of microgrids, and we're trying to make it even. We're not trying to, tilt it one way or another.
We're trying to explain microgrids, but not to the general public so much as to have a very focused explanation on the benefits of microgrids to utility regulators, to the ISOs, the grid operators, independent system operators, as well as people on the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission. So it's really the rule makers that we're aimed at, not so much the consumers or even the equipment providers into microgrids. What we're trying to do is advocate for microgrids in general, not so much a technology position and not so much even an ownership model. What we really want to do is encourage things that help out microgrids, because we see so many benefits to having this in concert with the larger grid. And it's important to emphasize, we're not trying to have microgrids instead of the main grid. It's not an either or, it's an and.
Microgrids are in a transition period right now. A lot of people are looking at them, and regulators are starting to write new rules and regulations that will govern these microgrids. Going into the future, if there's nobody advocating for systems such as ours at the university, the smaller systems, the utilities will control that conversation, and we want our input into this whole process.
The biggest thing we've done is establish our presence in the regulatory space, and in particular we have made several filings with the New York Public Service Commission in the New York REV proceeding as they try to rethink the business model for distribution companies, and we've established a lot of positions that we think really are going to make sense to take out to a broader audience. We also helped file an amicus brief with the Supreme Court in FERC versus EPSA, and I don't know whether our brief turned the corner, but in any event, there was a stunningly good outcome for IDEA members getting a 6-2 decision in favor of FERC.
Now that 745 is behind us, I think it's at the state level. The states are looking to create regulations to address microgrids. With the teaming with IDEA, we will have more resources so that we can now focus on the states as they start writing rules and regulations. The New Jersey BPU has asked us for comments. We want to stay actively engaged in New York, but we would also like to participate in other states, especially out of the northeast region of the United States. We would like to participate more in California, in Texas, and the Midwest.